Jefferson County Court, law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session and calls number 333-658. Case of Style State of Texas versus Isaiah Christopher Morton, or Isaiah Morton. Isaiah Morton previously was sworn in. Mr. Morton waived the record. In this case, Mr. Morton acknowledged that his signatures was on the judge's explanation of rights of defendants without an attorney. He sees his signature and initials. He also acknowledged that his signature was on the waiver of counsel for proceeding. Waiver of counsel for purposes of entering a guilty plea or proceeding to trial. He also acknowledged that his signatures on the trial on the state's exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, his initials and signatures was on that document. He also acknowledged that his signature was on the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. He also acknowledged that he read the documents, he understood what he read, and that everything in those documents that I previously mentioned was true and correct to the best of his abilities. Now, Mr. Martin entered a plea of guilty to the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft that occurred on or about September 14 of 2022 in Jefferson County, Texas. He also acknowledged that he was mentally competent to stand trial. The court found that he was mentally competent to stand trial. The court accepted his plea of guilty. The court found that his plea and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. The court also acknowledged that there was sufficient evidence to find him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Mr. Morton was offered 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. The terms was that he was to pay a fine of $300 plus court costs of $307, probation fees of $60 each month, and a year analysis fee of $15 each month. His monthly installments was $130. Mr. Morton acknowledged that he may have some difficulties in being able to pay the $130 each month. I have before me a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence that was filled out by Mr. Morton. Mr. Morton, do you recognize this document? Yes. And is everything, now before you sign this document, did you read everything in this document? Yes. And did you understand what you read? And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Yes. Now, Mr. Morton, the court is going to find that you are indigent and pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, the court costs and fine, which comes to a total of $607, is going to be converted to 49 hours of community service. That 49 hours will be in addition to the 40 hours that you are required to pay as part of this plea bargain agreement. And so you'll be required to do a total of 89 hours of community service. Now, you'll be required to pay $60 each month for the probation fee and $15 each month for the urinalysis fee, which will come to a total of $75 a month. Okay. Now, Mr. Morton, do you understand the state's offer? Yes, sir. And adjustments that was made pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure? That is, the court found you indigent and converted your fine and court costs to 49 hours of community service. And do you think that is fair and just? Yes, sir. And do you accept it? Yes. Okay, the court is going to follow the plea bargain agreement with the finding that Mr. Isaiah Morton is indigent pursuant to Article 42.15 Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, and the court is going to convert the 600, with the fine and court cost of $607 to 49 hours of community service. Okay. Now, Mr. Martin, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in conviction in your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure, and you can talk to an attorney about a non-disclosure. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. For the hours, is it
The probation is going to give that information to you. Okay? All right. Mr. Martin, you're gonna stand on the X in front of the court, right? The X to your left, in front of our court clerk. You're gonna follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. You too. Thank you. All right.
Just 1 second.
And this will conclude, well, at this time, the court will be in recess.